There's no one doing more litigation and more investigation into the COVID issue than Judicial Watch. So Judicial Watch has also taken the lead in the other major government corruption scandal, which is the abuse of power using the pretext of COVID. And we've exposed, for instance, the lies and disinformation, as the left likes to say, but it's really just lies and misleading information about the origins of COVID, about the funding of gain-of-function research. Pretty much everything you've heard in the media about that, Judicial Watch uncovered. Judicial Watch also uncovered with our friends at openthebooks.gov, I think it was our material that we helped them get them, they found out that Fauci made an extra $5 million, or his wealth increased $5 million during COVID times. So no one else figured that out. It was only Judicial Watch helping open the books who couldn't get the information, and we went in and sued for them. And all sorts of other information that we now have, and other information that we should have, but is being hidden from us, like where the royalties are going to people like Fauci. Where are they coming from, I mean. So all of that is part of our investigation. We've also been investigating the vaccines, their development. There's no one doing more litigation and more investigation into the COVID issue than Judicial Watch. In one of the lawsuits that we filed more recently, or I shouldn't say more recently, but it was August of 2021 we filed the lawsuit. We looked for records about what was called the COVID-19 Community Corps program. And this Community Corps program was set up by the Biden Health and Human Services Department, essentially to spread support for the vaccine, encourage people to take the vaccine. And the way it would work is, according to the documents we now have found, they would work with trusted Americans to persuade people to have trust in the vaccine and take it. Now, if you're a skeptical sort like I am, you see government agents spreading propaganda about an irreversible medical treatment. Now, to be fair, there are people in good faith who thought the vaccine was something that should be given to large numbers of people, and certainly initially they wanted to get the word out about people get the opportunities to take the vaccine and why they should take it. So I'll let you decide what side you're on that. So we filed this lawsuit, and lo and behold, they gave us this, which is about 260 pages of records about their propaganda plan to push the COVID vaccine. And the records show extensive media plans, so much so that you have to wonder who wasn't really acting as an agent of the government every time these vaccine promotions were showed up on media outlets, entertainment outlets, in scripts elsewhere. When you see what the depth of the plan was, I guess you won't be surprised, but it's still pretty shocking. And just to start off, we've got the document talking about being a founding member of the Community Corps for COVID, the COVID-19 Community Corps, and this is what they say that they want you to do. Obviously become an official member. This would be a founding member. Participate in Share the Mic virtual events. This will include using your social platform to uplift vaccine confidence with health workers like doctors, nurses, pediatricians, and more. There will be more official guidance on the program to come in the next few weeks. This document is undated, I think. Collaborate and distribute Community Corps, and we can do this campaign content to your networks, and they'll provide weekly emails with information and toolkits. So this is the government telling, we'll give you the information. And in a second wave of the program, develop and host events to sponsor, administer vaccines. In addition, participate in virtual events such as town halls, panels, concerts. More details to come. So you join as the community core, and it's not clear that you tell people. Let's say, obviously Judicial Watch has a media account. I have a media account. I mean, I have an internet account. Let's say go to Twitter at Tom Fitton, and let's say I want to sign up for this community core. So it looks to me like they wanted me to start working with the government to persuade people to take this vaccine. And it's not clear to me that I would have had to tell anyone I was working for the government, even as a volunteer. So I'd like to know how many of these events took place where Americans were seemingly being persuaded by influencers who had joined this volunteer effort without being told that this was essentially a government operation, using citizens as a cutout. They would provide the guests. So it looks like this was in April of 2021. And the other big thing that we found in these documents, and I encourage you to look at the whole thing, because when we send out press releases, we can't put out a press release this big. We have to keep it to a few pages. So it's 250 pages. I encourage you to look at all the emails. We didn't cover the fact that, there's a group of emails up front talking about, hey, we got to get the Grammys on board. We need to get social, big influencers from the recording industry to support the vaccines. But this is the big one. This is the mother lode here. The COVID-19 Public Education Campaign. Can you see that? And in it, it describes what the propaganda plan is. It's a slide deck. It looks like PowerPoint slides here. But this is the public education campaign for April through May of 2021. And this is what it looks like. It's a nice sheet of points that they were going to do to kind of promote this propaganda. Includes a vaccine engagement package to all entertainment, talent, and management agencies. A vaccine engagement package to all media companies and show producers. Outreach to major culture event producers. Start Celebrity Share the Mics. I told you about that already. And part of that involved the president going out and speaking, for instance, on Telemundo, according to these documents. Michelle Obama being involved in a Share the Mic project. Even a conservative American Share the Mic. Did you participate that, conservative America, in the Share the Mic program? Did you know it was a government operation? Well, now you do. Suckers if you did. And that's how they treat us. They treat us as children. These are projects, an Oprah town hall meeting with Dr. Fauci. I mean, Dr. Fauci was on, the corrupt Dr. Fauci was on Stephen Colbert earlier this week, getting his 56th booster shot or something like that. And he talked about having COVID and getting 90 boosters. I'm joking, obviously. He didn't get 56 or 90 boosters. He's only gotten 15. No, how many? Was it 5? Doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know, is that joke going to get censored? Is YouTube going to take us down because I joked about people having to get a booster every 3 minutes? So anyway, he was obviously there as part of this program. You put Fauci on TV to celebrate and push vaccinations. So you think you're watching TV when in fact you're just watching a government propaganda effort. On the Colbert program or on The Tonight Show, I don't even remember who hosts The Tonight Show anymore. What's his name?
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon. And who's the guy on ABC?
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, you would think I would know all these popular folks, but I'm getting old. And I don't watch TV the way I used to. I'm in bed by 8:30. So they're operators. So when you hear these folks promote vaccines, it's because they're getting propagandistic talking points from the government. That's pretty clear. These were projects for May of 2021. Schedule entertainment, talent, and management agencies briefings. Work with media companies and show producers on vaccine messaging. Additional ideas to be considered. Produce HHS question and answer videos featuring local black doctors discussing the vaccines, how they work, and why the public should get vaccinated. And they capitalize black. By the way, when you see the word black capitalized in a race context like this, or white capitalized, that's racist. So that's a particular decision by government or media organizations to racialize a descriptor, a race descriptor such as black or white, by capitalizing it. That's CRT in your face. Additional ideas. Request Tom Brady create a video with his parents encouraging vaccinations. His parents had COVID last year, and he has talked about their tough recovery. Create custom partnerships with social media platforms with algorithms to hit this audience. You know, it's the government, so a lot of this is half-baked. I don't know what audience they're talking about, but it's you. Launch Hollywood comedy writers' video content. What's going on there? Create a TikTok, pass the mic campaign, launch with major influencers to begin the series. So again, a government program that's being masked, it looks like, to use an awkward word, right? Create a photo backdrop social media kit to be used at vaccination sites for people to celebrate with the We Can Do This campaign after receiving the shot. Now, to be clear, I don't oppose educational efforts by the government that advance the public health in a legitimate way. What I do oppose is pretending that something is a private activity when in fact it's government propaganda. I mean, it's one thing to have Joe Biden at an event where they have confetti coming down celebrating vaccinations. It's another thing to have Oprah reading talking points provided by the government while we're expected to believe it's her own views. Encourage a rival's social media campaign of unexpected pairings of Americans encouraging each other to get vaccinated. Oh, this is just classic. Nicki Minaj, Cardi, Brittany, Christina. I don't know who Christina is. I do know who Cardi is, and I know who Nicki Minaj is. See, I'm not that far out of it. And James Bond and Jason Bourne. Those are fictional characters, so are they going to get fictional characters to support the vaccine? I guess so. As if the Bond movies weren't bad enough. Work with YouTube on an original show or special about vaccinations targeted to young people. Are you getting furious yet? Work with Instagram to produce a series about vaccines for, quote, @Instagram, the largest social media account in the world. I guess the @Instagram account on Instagram has 387 million followers. Feature young creators, again, government agents who are being disguised from you as being government agents, doing in-depth pieces about young people's questions. Request a stories highlight on vaccines on @Instagram to stay on the account through 2021. You know, I recall the Justice Department or the Securities Exchange Commission just harassed Kim Kardashian for running an ad they say that she was paid for that she did not disclose. And she settled the case, refusing, you know, she didn't deny or admit that she'd done anything wrong, for I think $1.5 million or something, $1.3 million. Complete harassment. And if you looked at the material that she posted, it was obviously an advertisement. I think it was for some cryptocurrency. And why am I mentioning that? Because it's what the government was doing. They were using young creators, according to these documents, social media influencers and others, to act as government agents without disclosing it. I guarantee you, if you find out, if you look at any of the follow-ups here, which I think people should, I think this is a good project if you're watching, so figure out if Tom Brady did a thing like this. And whether or not it was disclosed to the American people that these efforts by social media influencers to promote the vaccines were the result of government programming. Again, request major TikTok, Snapchat. I'm not on Snapchat. I am on Instagram. I was on TikTok, but I was thrown off by the communists. Influencers to create videos of themselves being vaccinated and start a special campaign of funny and or musical videos about being vaccinated to encourage others to create and post. And I'm sure it'd be really funny to have the government is super funny. And I'm sure the vaccine videos being created will be super funny and musical, with Leviathan government smashing it into people's faces through this propaganda effort. So this is just great stuff we found, isn't it? So they've been trying to sell you on the vaccines, you know, and we see how that turned out. And Judicial Watch has uncovered it all thanks to our litigation. The most important drug in the history of man, it can be argued, and it's only Judicial Watch suing to find out what the heck went on in getting it pushed to the American people. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.